I've been asked by many of you to do a tutorial on how I paint my lovely dragonflies. So I'm going to show you today on a blue and turquoise one. So you will need paint. I use car paints. These look like they're in a water bottle because they come in a can, and I decant them into bottles because they're easier to pour into. My airbrush, which I use for painting. I used to hand paint them, but with car paints it's better to use a spray subscription. But you can use acrylic paints if you want. Just make sure you use a good varnish. So you'll also need a varnish. That's what I use, why my things last so long outside, because I use car paints which have a layer of protection, and this is another layer. I also use glitter. As you can see, it's lovely and sparkly. My airbrush has seen better days, so if anybody knows anyone who if some airbrush company wants to sponsor me, I'd say your airbrush is the best. But yeah, let's get into it. First I'm going to do is the metallic blue, of which I'm not going to paint this body part here because that part will be turquoise, so it's just a waste of paint. I'm going to start at the bottom, and of course the wind decides to blow as soon as I start. Put that there. So I'm not applying loads in one go because we want it to penetrate inside all the cracks. It's kind of slow and steady. I think my original tutorial that did really well, so I've actually been paid a little bit by Meta for that video. I think I'm going to invest that money on a new airbrush and compressor because this is not quite working right anymore. But I'm going all the way around to make sure, because when you spray from one direction. So quite often you'll see, if you look at it from another direction, there would be no paint. So as I spray this way, I'm just going to cover it up. Trying not to get any on the wings if I can, because they will be, I'm going to try and leave them silver. Yeah, make sure I get it from every direction. It's not a race. And then the next part is the head. Now these front two legs I don't mind getting paint on, I'd rather I didn't, but if I get paint on it, I get paint on it. And again, just going in, making sure the paint is going all the way through, not leaving any parts of the wire unpainted, and doing the same from the front. And that's about it. The rest of it will paint turquoise in a minute. And onto the turquoise. So I'm going to give it a big coat here in the middle, going onto just the edges of the wings and into the front of here. And then whilst I'm here, before I turn it over, I'm going to spray every one of these a bit. Doesn't have to be precise because I like giving that like sprayed look of them. If you're hand painting, obviously you can make these very precise. And then I do it from three sides, so I do it from the top, from this side, and then in a second I'll do it from that side. And then I've covered all bases. When it comes to using the airbrush, I get quite close, because then the air and the paint will brush off a little bit of the blue paint, which will actually then give the turquoise paint more of a standout colour when it dries. One last little bit just on top, just to make sure. And then the body, just getting in. Like with the other side, I'm trying to get into every nook and cranny with the paint, just so that you can't see any silver where there should be turquoise. We're going at it from multiple angles, just little bursts of air, and yeah, that's the turquoise. So next for the eyes, I'm just going to get a little paintbrush actually. You can use the airbrush, but I feel this is a little bit more care on here. put a good amount on because it will take off the paint from underneath. I kind of splodge it on. Sometimes I might need to do 2 coats of it, but I like to really cover it and then leave that to dry. Now I find the best thing to do whilst you're waiting for paint to dry is turning on a sprinkler and letting your dogs have a great time in the sun. So this step is completely optional, but it is the glitter spray. I spray it from above. No point doing underneath in my opinion, because I spray it so the sun shines on it and it sparkles. So there's no point doing it from underneath because the sun shines downwards. Make sure you get it mostly on the face. It looks really good on the eyes particularly, and on the body and all over the wings. And then again, let it dry. Now this step I'd leave it dry for quite a few hours. So next is some lacquer. Make sure you get into all the nooks and crannies. Give it a good spray all over. And then leave it to dry. It's best to wait 24 hours. So that is it done. Let me know if this has been helpful to you at all, if you've enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know what I should make next. If you'd like, I can also show you how I paint my rainbow dragonflies, because all of my dragonflies are the same except for this one. No, except for the rainbow one. And obviously the fire kits ones are slightly different as well. Maybe I should do a tutorial on those. Yeah, like, subscribe, follow, share. Goodbye.